Hello, my name is Wyatt. We will be doing 1.62 Packet Tracer for Internet Engineering 2, or better known as CCNA 2. This shall be a tutorial. I shall bring you through the entire physical packet tracer, I'm sure. We will be first putting where the things need to go, I guess, which everything needs to go on the rack except for the PC, except on the desk, I mean. We will be doing cabling, which the PC, by this diagram suggests, needs to connect to the 6 on the switch. And the switch on 5 needs to connect to the router. Now, this allows connectivity between the router and PC since it's connected to the switch, you know, the basics. The server wants to connect to the router directly. They all need to be turned on as well. This is just the starting points of this. And the last thing we need to do for cabling is the console cable to the actual router. Now, we are going to be going into terminal on the PC, and we shall start the entire actual packet tracer. 1 minute. There you go. Now, you always want to say usually no, unless if your instructor tells you otherwise. You need to go into config T. This wants to banner first, which you could do usually anything, but usually you want to do authorized access only. Exclamation point. Boop. All right, so I'm going to use check results for this, just in case, so I know where I'm going for the router real quick. Since usually you should put IPs first, but we're just going to do the router since that's the main meat of this packet tracer. First, we need to go into line console 0. Oh, well, hold on. Line console 0. We need to do the password, which I got it all from the instructions. I remember this on the top of my head. $Cisco. Nope, that's not how you spell that. That, and then since it's console, you have to do 2 capital asterisk. Okay, now you gotta log in because that's what sets the password. Now the exact timeout needs to be 4. It makes sure it says that in the instructions, which you should read, even though you're following this tutorial. Now that the line console 0 is done, let's go into G0/0/1. No, 0. Yeah. We need to put a description. Now it tells you what description. For now, we're just gonna put ABC. Nope, ABC. The IP address, which is labeled in the actual diagram, which we are going to use, which is 192.168.0.1. And since it's /24, it's 255.255.255.0. Now we got to do IPv6 address, which usually you should use an IPv6 address anyway, but DB8 ACAD, it wants :1/64. Let's do that again, but for the default gateway, which is FE80::1, but link local, which acts as the default gateway for IPv6. Okay, now that's done. Let's go into the next interface, which we shall just go up and put 1. It has the same default gateway, and the IPv6 address for this changes ever so slightly by adding a 1:. Now let's do the actual IPv6 address, which changes by another 1, I believe, yes. And then that should be good. Now we just gotta do no shutdown, if I remember on top of my head. Actually, we gotta do it for both. Let's do that real quick. Perfect. Now let's go back into actual config real quick, because I forgot about the actual enable secret, which is, like I said, I remember the things on top of my head, which is Cisco. That's not how you spell that. Cisco, that, and then since this is in privilege, which is enable secret, it's priv, which means privilege. Let's do the host name now, which is router1. Now the IP domain name, again, is in the instructions, which is CCNA-lab.com. Now the login blocking options, this is a hard command that I had to remember, so keep notes on this one. It's a crypto key generate RSA general keys modulus. It wants 1024. Yeah, perfect. Oh wait, no, we're generating keys, sorry. Actually, we're going to do blocking now, which is login block for 120 seconds, I believe it's seconds, with attempts within 3, and then within 60 seconds. There we go. That's the command that we were doing here. I just did RSA keys, which is somewhere around here. I'm sure you get it. Okay, let's reload this real quick so we know where we are. Oh, we forgot the description real quick. Oh, I think it's 1. Description. Like I said, ABC. Usually they want you to do something in specific, which you should, but for this demonstration, we shall not. Now it's the loopback address, which this is for if you ever add a new interface to this router. Yeah, there we go. It still wants an IP address. Now, I remember most of it on top of my head, but I don't want to screw it up. So 10.0.0.1. Like I said, 255.255.255.0 for /24s. Now, let's just do this because clicking's fun. 201 colon db, oh, sorry, caps lock, db8 colon acad colon 2 colon 1 /64. Now it wants that again, but the actual FE80, which is the default gateway for an IPv6 address. There we go. And then I know I'm missing one thing, let me check. There we go. Now it's just some general things in the actual router. Now this part's pretty easy. Just follow along. IPv6 unicast routing, which allows IPv6 to be allowed across the router. Security password. Min length is 12 in specific because it asks for 12 because all the passwords are 12. That's why the privileged password is actually only has 1 exclamation point instead of 2 because it has 4 characters, which is priv. And then the service password encryption, which encrypts your passwords. You know, pretty good to have encryption. Hold on, my bad. There we go, that's better. Now, line VTY. Now, I'm going to do 0 to 15. It only needs 4. It says that in the instructions, but I'm just going to do it for all of them because other than simplicity, and I guess you could technically, passwords are best. Password, which, like I said, they're all about the same, but with a slight difference. VTY asterisk. Now, that's in there. Now, this is another exec-timeout, which is what's saying about terminal line timeout, which it still wants 4. Doesn't change on that port. And transport input SSH. So then you can SSH into it with the right IP address and username. And everything else from here seems like we just have to add the IP addresses, which now this is, usually you could do this on your own very easily, but I shall keep the video going so you can see. .168.1.10. Now that stays the same like it usually does. What's 192.168.1.1, and then 201 colon db8, nope, 8 colon acad colon 1 colon 10. And like I said, stays 64 because that's a subnet. We don't need to touch that. FE80 colon 1, that's where the default gateway is. Like I've said before in the past. IP address for the server, which is 192.168.0.10. Doesn't change subnet. Now you always gotta check the subnets because that's, you know, would screw up IP in the first place. And then that, and then like I said, IPv6 addresses don't really change until the last like 2 numbers. So you could just remember that part. Colon 10, again 64 because no subnetting. FE80 colon 1. Now, I seem to be missing one thing, which that's why checks results are for. Usually you shouldn't use this as a crutch, but, the username, okay. Can't believe I forgot that. Okay, now, this part's usually how you SSH into it, etc., etc. SSH admin. Now, they want this, nope, that's not how you spell that. They want a secret password, so it's basically encrypted, which is 55H. In fact, it says it, which we shall just go down there, because might as well, right? Right there. Add that 2020. There we go. That's how you do 1.62.2, yeah. I hope we hit our time mark, and I hope I helped you out getting through your classes or whatever you're trying to do for CCNA 2. And hope you have a nice, wonderful day. Subscribe, like, share with your friends if